session we are going to complete the functionality part of adding the to-dos in the actual list, right? So for that, whenever we know that there is something getting changed, we know we have to use state. So React right now we are going to use state for that, right? And you can go and look into the official React documentation of what all these hooks are. So use state is a hook that we are going to use, which lets us change a state, right? And for this we will first use an input text, then we will use a state for storing our to-dos, right? So let's get started. So here, and wherever these to-dos are, I'm going to say before that const to-dos, set to-dos. That is the convention. Oh, sorry. So this is the convention we have to follow. So it's like it starts with a small alphabet, and then there is a set, and then there will be T capital, so it is like a camel casing, and then we will do use state. It will import use state, and it will be an array, right? It will be an array. So we already have to do, there is a conflict, so I'm going to comment out this one, and I'm going to use whatever here is in this array. I'm going to copy this, and I will just paste it here, and I think I can get rid of this to-dos thing, and I will just come here. Okay, and since in Next.js I'm trying to use state, by default it's a server component, so as you can see there is an error, so I have to use client to fix this. So I'm just going to copy this, and I will just put it at the top of the file, right? And that error will go, and it's still showing me that list, so no issues there. But like now what I have to do is do the add part, like add an item, add a to-do to the list. So for that, I'm going to create. So firstly, I have to type something to add, right? I have to say shopping, right? So whatever I need to type here, I will put it into a state, which I will later use to add it into the this to-dos list. So here I am going to create another state const input text, right? And then again similarly set input text. As again you can see I have followed the camel casing here. So use state, and you can Google about camel case. So yeah, I was going to start with a empty string, right? And now so I will come to this div where I am going to enter this to do. So for this value, I am going to give the value of the input text, and I am going to use the on change. I'm going to use the on change function, and here I'm going to do this set input text, right? So, and here I'm just going to do e.target.value. Okay, that's so this is all hooked up with the use state. If I try to add, I should see it in my input text. So let's put a console log before return, and let's see if it's actually putting that in input text state variable. Text is okay, and let's right click, or you can do F12 if you're on a Windows. Right click, inspect, and go to console, and let's clear our console log, and let's type, and you can see our input text is getting appended. So it's working as expected, right? Okay, and then we will also, now we have this search text. So what we need to do with that, we need to click on add button, and then it should add it to our list of to-dos. So now I'm going to create a function called add to-do. So let me come here. I'm going to create our first function in this const add to, again it will also follow camel casing. To do is equal to an arrow function like this, and I will just put console log inside add to do, and I will just put what we wanted to add within input text. And in the add function, add button, I am going to say on click is equal to add to do. So let's clear our console log and click on add, and you can see inside add to do, and that to do what was there in the input text is getting printed. I can get rid of this input text console log. Okay, so now I have the add to do function, which is currently just logging the input text in console. Now actually I want to do is add that to do into our to do list. So for that I'm going to use set to dos function, which is going to modify this to dos, right? And then it is going to re-render. That is what the use state will do for us. So it is going to provide a setter function to set our or modify our in state variable, and if that is modified, it will also re-render so that it will reflect the changes. So I will put one check if input text dot trim, so that I know it's not an empty value. If it is, if that value is there, then only I'm going to proceed and call the set to dos, and okay, so it will be an array, and then I'm going to use the spread operator to get the current to dos, comma, and as you can see, a to do is an object with an ID and a text, right? So I will create one object, and I will put ID, and for simplicity I can put any random. I can use the mat.random, or for now I will just put date.now, which will put the current timestamp as an ID, right? And then the text. So input text, I have some typo somewhere. Okay, let's just do this input text dot trim, and like that. Okay, and see, so this is complaining about the types and all. So as I said, let's not complexify it, and we will keep it a JSX for now, right? So I will convert this thing into a JSX. So all that errors are gone. Yes. Let's see. Let's restart our local. Okay. So now we are using JSX. Now let's try to enter our to do, right? And as you can see, it is getting printed here. Add, right? and let's console log all our to-dos just to see what's going on after we enter to our to-do. Okay, so you can see here, right? So the first 3 are our hard-coded to-dos with those IDs, and then followed by the to-dos that we just added, which have the unique timestamp using the date dot now. So what we did is we have successfully entered a to-do and then added the to-do in the list, right? Let's wrap it up for now, and in the next session what we will do is, so after adding the to-do, we will show a edit and a remove a to-do button, and then we will also conditionally show update and add, right? So let's wrap it up for now.